Hi, and welcome to the DISM, the Dutchman in San Marcos. Glad you tuned in again. If this is your first time, hey, please subscribe and ring the bell. We could use your subscription. I'm trying to build my viewer base, and we're going to be working with cigar box guitars because I like to turn junk into guitars. What's your superpower? So, hey, would love to hear. Put your comments on there. Let me know what you guys build. But now we're working on an authentic. The last two, they were actually 6 string. They're actually guitars. They had 6 strings. So we're going to work on a 3 string, right? That guy back there, which I already kind of started. So let's get going. Alright, so today we're going to get working on the neck. So basically the box is pretty well decorated and almost done. You know, I got to probably put some more reinforcing in it. And then the pick board will probably go over the top a little bit. I already got it marked out where the bridge is supposed to go. That's all been measured out. Okay, so yeah, we'll be working on the neck. And the body's kind of already done and marked. You know, it's got the record on it. I do have marks. You can't see them on the camera, but I do have marks for the bridge, my center line. So I figured today we'll focus on the neck, and because I still gotta do the fretboard, and I have to do the tuner thing. Now I got to do the tuner. Whoops. Oh, hang on. I got to do the tuner, but I had second thoughts about the tuner. These are kind of some older tuners I had, and I'm like, I don't know if I like them. And plus, I got a lot of real estate up here because I added this extra top. So what I was thinking. And I saw this. I'll show you the thing. I don't know. I printed this out a while. It was actually from Stu Mac. But as you can see the headstock on there. They actually cut a hole and stuck the tuner pegs through the hole of the headstock. I kind of like that look. I've never done a cigar box guitar like that, and I thought, hey, that's kind of a different way to do it. I wonder how that would look. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to put a channel. The interesting thing is I did have a set. I converted an old classical guitar into a guitar that would hold steel strings. So I had found these. They're actually classical guitar tuners, but they don't have the bone or that other softer stuff like this white stuff over the tops of them. They're actually metal, and if these were too long, I could actually cut them, because as you can see, there's 2 holes in them, so I could cut them shorter if need be, if these were too long. But what I was thinking, since I only need 3 and there's 3 on there, and maybe I'll do this more often because all the tuners are right here. So what I was thinking of doing, and I haven't looked at this until I pulled this out, so I don't know how to line up. But actually cutting, let's see, it might not, cutting that slot in here, and I think it'll work. See, if I cut a slot right in there, you know, obviously I can't. And then this would set down. The only part it looks like I'd have to maybe bend. I can get it. See, I can get it flat, but this is where the nut's supposed to be here. So, but I think if this might be too close to down here, so I might have a change of heart of that. unless I'd have to have it. I'd have to have it to about up there. So maybe this won't work because they're too spread out, and I don't have as long as a piece up there. So kind of still working that out. Um, I could go. I still might be able to do it if I go sideways. If I go sideways with these, you know. But see how long these are? That'd be, if I went this way, they'd be way too long. I need them shorter because that'd be way too long. So maybe that's a bad idea. It'd be kind of cool to work this in unless I cut this part off. It's just metal and make a single one. Yeah, a single one like that down below. Cut this off and put that one there. That might work. Because this is just a little piece of metal. I could just cut it. Right there. I'm gonna have to trim this. Well, I wouldn't have to trim that one. Then I'd have enough room. And then so the upper one would be coming through over here. So, or the lower string. So yeah, maybe I could do that. Cut this piece out. Because it looks like I got enough real estate. So yeah, that's something definitely to think about. Because what would happen is I'd probably cut these tuner pegs down. Because if you see the top one where the hole is at, is way too long. But if I cut it down to here, if I cut that in half, it would be perfect. So maybe the first thing I should cut is these tuners all the way across. Because I still have a hole going through it right here. And then so it would only be that long. It'd only be the hole for the string would be right there, which would be perfect. This long is a little too long. So then that way my hole would be just a little behind the center. So somebody left their alarm on in their car. So I don't know what happened. Hey, hang on, let me check that out. Alright, I'm back. That was just the neighbor's car. I thought it was kind of ours because it seemed pretty close to my garage door, but it wasn't. The wife said no, that wasn't. So she wasn't there with our key fob. So, yeah, so maybe we could make this work. It would just take a little cutting. I'm trying to think if I've got a saw I could do that. I'd have to cut these pretty straight. So let me think that over. And let me lay this out. First of all, I'll have to find the center of this and mark it and see how that would work. Because I think if I made a hole that came in right about there, it would be almost right. And then it would come over the other side. Same way. So let me measure this. and see if that would work. I kind of like to make this work because that'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to have that all in a row, and then I could figure out what to cut this with. I do have one of those. I do have one of those little Dremel with the little cutoff wheels because this isn't too thick metal, and it would probably go through that where I could get a pretty accurate cut. So let me fiddle around with that. I'm going to measure this up, and then let's cut the fretboard. Let's cut the fretboard. Now I'm going to use my handy dandy cigar box fretboard gauge here. So I put that flush up to the nut. Flush up to the nut like that. This would be the last fret. Get the nut on there. So the last fret would be just before the box. So maybe I only go another length down. Let me mark that. Mark that. Can't see that. Hang on just a minute. You can't see that either. Okay, so we're going to mark that. What I'm going to do is mark it. I'm going to mark it the width of this last fret. So it'll be over. So I'll put a mark right there. Come on, the pencil's not working. Right there. And then slide it up a fret. And right there should be my mark. So I'm going a little farther down. A little farther down. I think I'll mark it on my board here. A little farther down. So I got a whole width of a fret. That'll be the end. So let's cut that. I gotta run a square on it. Doesn't have to be. Just so I can see it. Doesn't have to be that accurate. This will help me. That'll help me see my mark better. Alright, so we got the fretboard cut. And then we'll mark all these frets. So as you can see, that'll be the fretboard. This is where the box comes in. That'll be the fretboard. So let me double check my fret drawer and see if I got any frets in there. All right, I checked my drawer. These are high nickel silver medium frets, and I don't know, I got 2 here. I don't know if that'll be enough, because I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I need 18 frets. I don't know. I'll have to do the math on that. I don't know if I got enough fret wire. I got 2 of them and 1 little one in the bag. So I might have to place an order with CBG. So let me see if I can add that up. Let me figure that out. Hang on a minute. All right, I just did the simple math on those fret wires. I only got 16 inches of fret wire, and with I don't even know. There might be more than 18 frets. I think I counted them quick, but just even with 18 frets, it's going to take 27 inches of fret wire, and I only got about 16, maybe 17 inches of fret wire. So I'm gonna have to order some frets, because obviously I don't have enough of those. And you get them by the bag. I think I got these by the bag. These are high nickel medium silver wire frets. I probably could get fancy as long as I got to order them. I could probably order some gold frets to match my gold box. So that'll be something I'll have to get on the computer and order. So we'll work on that. So let's get these fret slots at least cut in this thing. From what I can see, this side might be better, because there's like a little knot in this side. The only thing here is the sticker, but I can sand that off. But let's see if we can cut these fret slots with my little saw. So hang on a minute. I gotta put these back in the drawer and get some equipment out. So hang on. Okay, so I got my fretboard, and I clamped it to my little jig here. I'm gonna mark each one. I know there's other jigs you can make where you just have to move it over, but I kind of do it the old school way. So I'll mark these pretty close. With just a black dot so I can see it. There we go. So I got them all marked. So that way, I can line them up in my little hole. We've got our little saw out here. Hang on, I won't bore you with that. Okay, so I got my saw set up. So you probably can't see it, but the blade is sticking up right through there. And I got my little marks. I know where my saw is going to hit by that little line. So all I have to do is get it to go that far. So when I cut these, I'm just going to line the little black dots up just like that, and then cut my slots. So I'll get all the slots cut. This saw kind of bogs down, but if you go pretty quick, it'll go. So we'll do that. So you can see I got it cut. Alright, so you can see how I'm doing that. See, it's actually cutting the slots. I'm not going to bore you. It doesn't have enough torque, so with the harder wood it slows down. So I'll cut through all these and I'll show you the finished product. Alright, there we go. Got them all cut out. Had one mistake right here. It went off track. So you can see one mistake right there. But we'll fix it when we get the fret in there, then we can fill it. But other than that, they all went pretty smoothly. We got them all in there. Yeah, we'll get the fret right down the center and then fill it. I might have to trim it a little bit. But yeah, it'll fill up with the fret. I'll show you. See, here's the fret wire. So we'll put that one in there. We'll put that one in there. Then I'll have to fill it. See, we'll get that in there. Because the fret will go in there. But then I'll have to, you can see the fret will go in there. But I'll have to fill that gap because I cut too much out. Which can be done with the little wood putty, the dark oak wood filler. But the other ones will fit in there perfectly. See, those all go in there really nice. It's just that one I'll have to. This one I'll have to fill. So that happens. You can't be perfect all the time. I still need to fix my fence on my saw. It gets kind of rough. So I gotta kind of rework this thing. And then I was finding out that since I don't have it mounted, it likes to tip when I push it. And I don't have I need it for it to go farther. So I don't know, I might need to redesign the little fence. It worked. It got the job done. So with that, we'll call it a day. and we'll start working out some of the details. Some of the details of, so you can see that one will go, that'll go on there like that, and we'll work out the details of this. I'm gonna see if I can cut those tuners. Where did I put it now? I'm gonna see, and it'll be a little more tricky work, which I don't know. I'll see if I can cut this guy, cut that one off, take this one off, and then narrow these with my little Dremel, and we'll go from there. We see if we can make this into a slotted up here like this guy is. But these two will actually be hooked together. These two will actually be hooked together, but put a hole in there just to try something different. So that's it for this week. Be sure to like and subscribe. Like I was saying, I still didn't get those shorts done. I'm going to work on one of those for an album I found. So that's my next thing on my bucket list. So with that, we'll see you next week with more work on the plus. It's always good to see mistakes because you can see how I can fix it. As soon as I hit that second time, I knew it jumped because I was just holding it here, and I couldn't do this. The other ones I could do that. I probably should have marked it on the other side, and I don't know, and re-went in there or clamped it on here, because I felt it as soon as I went off, and then I tried to go back through and just fix the one, and then I got another one going. So, but we'll fix it up. That's why I left some of this material here so it would still go in this slot here, which actually this slot, you can see it lines up better with my mark. So this will just have to take some filler down on the fretboard. And when you get that filler in it, you can't even see it. A lot of times they repair these when you get a fret job on your guitar, and they pull the frets all out, and then the tangs pull all the wood out. Well, they all look really garbagey when they put the new ones on. So they'll actually fill them with that. So, and I can actually take some of my dust. See, some of my cuttings, and put it in glue and glue it in there too. So we'll have to sweep up some of my cuttings of this. You can see it's real fine. I'll collect some of that and then mix up some, once I put the fret in, mix up some glue and fill it in, and you won't even see it because the glue and the wood chips will fill the gap. That's one thing nice about wood. It's kind of forgiving. You can make a bad cut and fill them in and not even miss a beat on it. So yeah, so that's the frets all cut and ready. We'll put it together here so you can see it again. I don't know why this one side doesn't fit in as well. So this will go on here, and we'll glue right about there. So that's how it'll be. Let me get this one. So I think what I might do is order some gold frets. That would look kind of cool. So you see that'll glue on top here, and when we shape the neck, I might even trim it here so that when I open the box, I might trim it right there, so when I open the box, it will still be able to open and not be blocked by this. Since my last fret comes right down to here, I still have some, as you can see, I still have some room, because that's where it would be. So I might trim that up, because then the last fret will be right there. So we'll see. Because like I said, I like to make mine so you can still open the box up. But yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see if we can work out something with these old junky tuners. Because I have one, I'll never use that on a guitar because I only got 3. But if I can cut this in half and probably right on the screw hole, because this will have 2 screws. I could cut it on that side, so I got 2 screws in this one. Yeah, so we'll see how that works out. All right, so we'll see you. We'll see you next week. And I am the DISM. And be sure to like and subscribe. And have a great week.